Hello, welcome to day 9 of 10 Days of Crystal Ornaments with Cynthialoowho 2022. Oh, you guys, today's a fun one. We're going to go back way back. So how many of you love vintage ornaments? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay, so I love the look of the elongated. Back when I was a kid, our tree topper looked like that. It was like bigger in the center, and then it got smaller and smaller, and then it was like pointy at the tips. Anyway, when you are looking for ornaments like that these days, there's a couple that'll come in a set, but you can't get an actual full set of them. So I found a way for us to easily make our own, and they're absolutely beautiful, and there's so many ways that you can make yours. So here is one that I have made. I just love it. And all this is an ornament and beads that I have put gold leaf on. So it's very simple. You can make as many as you want. All you have to do is grab your scrap beads. They can be any color because we're going to cover it with foiling. And then you're going to need an acrylic ornament, whatever size you want. This is that ornament again. You can actually make it look really vintage by using certain inks or paints or whatever. So these ornaments that I'm using I got from Hobby Lobby, and unfortunately they are not in the greatest shape. You can see that, I don't know, they're just, they've been handled a lot, so there's a lot of swirls and stuff, so I can't really use these for anything else. But this is what they are, and I will try to link these. And then I just grabbed some miscellaneous beads that I wanted to use, and I used the gold one on the other one, and I'm going to do silver on this one. So you're asking how we can use this, how we can make it. Okay, so I'm going to show you. You're going to need some 18 gauge wire, okay, or just a nice good wire that beads will fit on, so it's not too big. I will link this wire, and you want it as straight as you can get it. And I would say, depending on how long you want it, that's how long you want your wire, plus a little extra. So this one that I just cut is 6 inches. It's actually about 7 inches. And you want it as straight as you can get it. Now, if you have a hot glue gun, and if you have a Surebonder hot glue gun, that's going to come in really handy right now. So what I'm going to do is, you can gold leaf these all individually and then put them together, or you can do it all on one, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just bend the bottom of that, just put a little teeny loop on there, and then I'm going to smash it together. Just like that. So that's going to stop my bottom bead from coming off. Now I'm going to pop this off. There we go. And I'm going to find the center on the bottom. It's got to be perfectly centered. On this one I didn't get it quite in the center, but that's okay. When it's hanging on the tree you're not going to be able to see it, but I want to get it as centered as I want. Now the Surebonder fine tip has a very hot tip, and that's what I'm going to make my hole with to turn this into a bead. So I want to make sure that it is in the center and exactly, and I'm just going to hold it on there for a second, and it goes right through. So let's make sure that that is straight. I'm going to pop my wire through that hole I made and then bring it through like that, and it is pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. So now I'm just going to start putting my beads in the order that I want them in. And I need a couple of little beads. And you can use any kind of beads you have. Please let me know if you make this, because how cool is this to have little vintage ornaments on our tree that we don't have to go out and buy, and we just, I mean, you might be like me and have a ton of, you know, beads. Like I have a ton of beads, guys. I have all of these, and then I also have all of these, and this is just you know, from when you buy like the sets, you know, like the sets that are all coordinating. Anyway, I'm sure that you have beads around somewhere, but they do have the little Walmart like little kits that are all like they all are themed. Okay, so there's that. So I kind of want the bottom longer than the top, so I'm gonna put this round one and this one. No, I'm going to leave that for the top. Let's see, do I want this one? No, I'm going to do this one. Okay, and then I'm going to add my ornament. It's easier to add it this way. Go right up through the top there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, and what do I want on the top? Maybe this one. And then this one. No, I want a smaller one up top there. Let's see. Let's do this one. Okay. So once you get like the shape that you like, I think I'm gonna do, yeah, just play around with it a bit till you get the look you want. That one, and then I'm gonna do a smaller bead. There we go. And then I'm going to cut the top and then create a loop at the top there for my ornament hook. And I want it to be nice and tight because I want these to be really tight for when I add the foiling. There we go. So that's nice and tight there. So that was easy, right? We just picked the beads we wanted. And now I'm going to use this Aleene's foiling glue. And you don't need a lot. I'm just going to put it on all of the beads, all over, top and bottom. And then, so I'm going to put this all over the ornament. And then we'll come back and I'll do the foiling. So just put this all over. I'll show you how I do it. Just going to put a little bit out here. You don't need a lot. And actually, I'm going to use some of these hemostats and hold that so that I can get the brush in there. Okay, and then any paintbrush, and then I'm just going to work it all the way around the beads, making sure that there's not like a bunch of glops, because some of these, like I want this to, that design to shine through a little bit. You want to get in between the beads because you want it all one cohesive color. And then on this this foiling glue, it turns clear when it's dry, so it doesn't actually dry, it just becomes sticky once it's all when it's all set and ready. It's just, it becomes clear and really sticky. Just get everything covered really nicely. And I love that it looks vintage with that foiling. And I will link the adhesive and the gold foiling that I'm using. I'll link all of that in on my website. So go to the description of the video, click the link there, and it will take you to my website, which will have all the information and everything linked on there. And that's pretty much it. Just cover it, wait for it to turn clear, and then you're ready to go. So I will be back when this is ready. Okay, it is clear, so it is ready for some foiling. Now this is the really fun part, because you get to just see this like almost magically turn into something really cool. So what I do is I just try to cover the majority, and once I start getting it covered really good, I'm going to just start patting down. And then once you get most of it covered, you can handle it. You can grab it once the sticky is pretty covered. So you just start adding, and there might be easier ways to do this, but might be even more messier. And you can make these look even more older by, you know, putting like a little whitewash, you know, add a little paint with some water. And you can also add alcohol inks if you want to color it. Like, say you have a bunch of pink on your tree and you want to make it pink, but you still want it metallic. You can do like a whitewash, just really carefully. So just start adding your foiling all over. And you're going to want a rough brush for this too, and I have one that I got at the dollar store. It's just a rough brush so that when you are going over it, you can get all the little bits off. And I don't want to touch this with my hands, because if I do, I mean right now I want to grab that. I'm going to do it. And just go like this. And I will be getting all of the excess off with my rough brush, so that's why I have that. So it's not pretty. It's so pretty. But yeah, that makes it go a little bit faster. A little bit. And there's so much of this in here that... Okay. There we go. I think we got it covered. Look at, there's still just so much. So now I'm just going to start like patting it down. And if you notice that there's a spot where the foiling isn't sticking, just wait until you get everything covered really good, and then go back and add some adhesive. And then add some more. This can be a process if you need it to be. And now, this is the rough brush I have. So now it's at a point where enough of it's covered that I can handle it with my fingers. Just trying to be careful, but wanting to get in all the nook and crannies. What I would love to get is like a really light pink foiling. I think that would just be beautiful on my tree. And I love that really light vintage pink. I love that look. And no, I can't save that, because there's just, but it's not that wasteful because there's so much left in this little cup because it is foiling, so there is a lot. And I used this last year too, so it will last. And you just start to see your ornament come alive. And that's why I like the rough brush, because you can really just get all the excess off. Okay, I'm going to get this cleaned up real good and clean this area, and I'll be back. Okay, it is completely covered, and it just looks beautiful and vintage, and I love it. And you know, you guys can find like vintage bulk bags, or not vintage, but bulk bags of beads at like thrift stores and stuff like that. So if you just go there and you see a little bag of beads, grab it, and just remember, you can make something like this for your Christmas tree. And they make really good gifts. Now, I'm going to do a little extra on this one. I have this trim that I got from Hobby Lobby. You definitely want to go on the days where the trim is 50% off. And this is $4.99, so I got this for $2.50. And I'm going to go right around the center of this. And I'm going to add a row of this. So, I don't have scissors. Where are my scissors? I don't have scissors. I'm going to have to use my wire cutters. Wait, I got to make sure that that's where. And this trim that I'm using right now is actually a trim that you can heat and melt it onto things. You can put an iron on it. Obviously we don't want to do that because this is a plastic ornament, so you can use hot glue or other glues for this as well. I want to make sure that I get this placed in the right spot, and then I'm just going to bring it around and connect on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to use hot glue. Make sure that I follow it straight. I'm going to put the glue on the actual trim. And as it heats, that plastic stretches, so be very careful. You don't want to stretch it too much so it gets out of shape. And I will try to find this trim and link this as well. But you can use any trim. You can also use like a lace trim or a braided trim and gold foil that. And just gold foil your trim, and that little design will be on there. Because you can foil over all kinds of stuff. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do for this is I'm going to make a special ornament hook. It's just a little bit of a different design, but I think this one needs to be a little bit fancier. So I have a little bit of pink paint on my thumb. I'm going to make a loop And then I'm going to create a swirl that goes around. You want to move the wire, not the pliers. That's pretty good. Then we'll go back the other way and create the loop to put it on my ornament. Just like that. And there we are. Our vintage style ornament. I hope that you guys love this and try it. Thank you for joining me for day 9. We have one more to go. I love you all. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you at day 10. God bless and Merry Christmas. Bye.